Shalom, y'all, Bashim Shabakatah, y'all, Shamar, Thumb, Bashim Shah. It's Priest and Officer 1000 Mathum Yard out of I.S.U.P.K, Star out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command and General YAHANNA. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969, truth being that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are God's chosen people according to the Bible. And what we do is we wake up our people all across the globe, all across, this country here. We everywhere. You understand? And our goal is to wake up our brothers and sisters in the world that has the mindset of this place, that has, you understand, that has the spirit of this place in them. You know what I mean? To try to transform their lives from a life of transgression against the Lord, you understand, into being a righteous people like we once were. And then we could get power. And then we can, the Lord to give us everything we've been deprived of. You understand? This the Brotherhood Class, you know what I mean? Every Tuesday, do it up. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things we don't have too. We don't have brotherhood. We have and everything, damn near everything, that we need would we would have everything basically we need if we just apply that, 100%. You understand? And and now it's the time to, get together, come together, because right now we seeing how these other nations, how they doing real good. They working tirelessly, and working their businesses and working everything that they have going on, right? And have us don't mind us being the consumers of them. Don't mind us, going into their businesses and making them rich and getting their kids through school and all that stuff, right? And living a splendid life, a life without having to care about anything or any stress. They have that life because we support them. We go in these stores, we make them rich. You know what I mean? They get rich off our hard earned money. You understand? And it was just a video that kind of went, viral a little bit on how Commander General YAHANNA was talking about how a brother had went into this laundromat, you understand, that was owned by Koreans. And another, like, the brother went in there, he said, yo, it's a black owned laundromat right around the way. And they all dropped everything and they went to the black owned restaurant, black owned laundromat. And that's basically, that's a strong step forward for what we need to be doing as a nation. You understand? Like, when we do that, then we don't need anybody else. And truth be told, it's right in front of our faces, but we don't really look at it. We don't look at it like that because we just, on our ones and twos every day. We going to work, coming back home, family, you understand? And then you get 2 seconds at home, then you got to go right back to working hard for the oppressor. Do that for most of the day. Come back home for 2 seconds. Get 20 seconds of sleep. Go back to work. You understand? We don't see it, but that's how it is. You understand? Like, if we see it, if we open our eyes to it, we have everything we need in the hood. And I say this all the time. We have everything we need in the hood. The barrio. You understand? We have everything we need there. You know what I mean? I go into a bodega and I see everything that I need in the bodega. You know what I mean? Everything in there is like, they got all the necessities. What? Toilet paper, you got you understand, dish detergent, laundry detergent, everything you need. They cook food out of there. They have all the all the necessities you need to sustain yourself. You know what I mean? So imagine, like, when black and Hispanics come together, how much more powerful it would be. You understand? We think about it. We all have the same common enemy. All have the common enemy. You know what I mean? We have a common enemy, and it's the same one that's persecuting the Latinos. You understand? The same ones persecuting black people. You understand? We damn near, it wouldn't be wise not to join forces. You understand? And another thing too, according to the Bible, we're God's chosen people. According to the Bible, we God's chosen people anyway. And the Lord said that we need to come together. So that's you know what I mean. That's another thing too. That's the main thing. Somebody's in the comment section. I'm entertaining for a little minute. Let me see. Says why? Mhm. Yeah. What you trying to say? Like, nothing about. Well, we ain't against. We ain't with. Yeah, I don't understand. We not with Islam or anything like that. We against Christianity. We against Islam. All that's garbage to us. We call. You know what I mean. We call the Quran toilet paper. You know what I mean. Good firewood. You understand? We don't rock with Christianity or Islam. They ain't do nothing for. They ain't do nothing good for the black community. They ain't do nothing good for the Latino community. You know what I'm saying? All they did was make us more violent. You understand? When we go into them religions, we just gonna speak about Islam for right now. When we go into Islam, brothers in there turn out to be just like the Arabs. You know what I mean? Crazy. You know what I mean? Like the Arabs, you get that spirit of a real Muslim where brothers turn violent. You understand? All the brothers that's incarcerated in prison. You know what I mean? Or most of them, majority of them is in Islam. You understand? Islam ain't done nothing good for our community, but you know what I mean. They did everything bad for us. You understand? All them religions, every religion is false. You understand? And man made. But this Bible is what the Lord gave us. The Bible is what the Lord, the Most High, gave us. You understand? And the Bible has nothing to do with either of them, with Christianity or Islam. You understand? Every religion on this earth try to take from the Bible the only true word of God, and they try to take from the Bible and make their own imaginary, you know what I mean, religion out of that. Understand? They both garbage. All them religious garbage. You know, you name it. We already talked about Christianity, Islam. You know, we go 7 Day Adventists. You understand? Buddhism, Hinduism. All those religions are garbage, and not for Black and Hispanic people. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, right? Like I was saying, you know what I mean? We gotta, yeah, I mean, Black and Hispanics gotta come together. You know what I mean? Because it's only right. It's only right because you know what I mean? It's only right that we come together and join forces. Understand? If you look closely at it, we the same. We are the same, but it's just a language barrier. You understand? It's a language barrier. But once we, you know what I mean? Once we, once that's not a factor, we, you know what I mean? We go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like the Lord said. And another reason why we need to come together, I know y'all seen what happened with Tanya Miller. Tanya Miller was a sister that just got lynched, was just lynched in 2026. Big surprise. A sister named by Tanya Miller was lynched, and another sister named Juliana. I want to get her last name right. Slovakia. One second. One second. Juliana Nazita. Nazisha. You understand? And she was 16 years old, was found hanging from a tree. You know what I mean? Now we are being lynched in 2026. A brother by the name of Cohen Wiley, who was a baby, by the way, you know what I mean, a black, you know what I mean, black baby, who was shot by the police last week or a week and a half ago. You know what I mean? And this is all happened in 2026, where everything's supposed to be changing, right? We supposed to be in a different age of society where you know what I mean, people are changing, people's mindsets are changing. Stop Asian hate, all this nonsense is going on, and everybody supposed to be loving everybody. Well, how come it's only my people? How come it's only Blacks and Hispanics being, targeted by these oppressors. You know what I'm saying? I'm only seeing black people being hanged from trees. I'm only seeing, our people being hanged from trees and lynched in 2026. If you can answer me, if anybody could tell me why we should love our oppressors, I would love to know. I would love to hear from somebody, whoever might be listening, on why we should love our oppressors. You know what I mean? I would love to pick the mind of people out there that think we should be following in the ways of Martin Luther King, where we should be loving everybody when everybody is looking out for themselves. When everybody else is looking out for themselves, everybody making sure that their family and their nation is fine and their nation is good. Their nation is staying afloat. But our people have to out of nowhere love everybody. Our people have to go out and make sure everybody receives love from us, which it don't make no damn sense. You know what I mean? It don't make no sense at all. We're the only ones that's having that being shoveled on to us. You understand? Where we must love everybody. We must love everybody, and if we don't, somebody want to come and confront us about us not loving everybody. You know what I mean? So why would we have to love a nation of people that hate us? Does that make any sense? It's what insanity is, right? Insanity is doing something and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. You know what I mean? Expecting a different outcome. And that's what we are, like black people right now, especially black Christians out there. We love to love everybody and think that's going to change the hearts of these devils. Think that's going to change the hearts of these devils out here that, it's in their blood it's in their spirit to hate us. You understand? We just went over this last night. It's biblical. Their hate for us is biblical. And like, you're not going to change their heart because you love them. You're not going to change. They love you. These oppressors look at you like a dog. They don't look at you like a human. You understand? They don't look at you like a human being. How they look at you is their pet. You know what I mean? They'll occasionally let you come around. They'll please you, give you give you a little couple rubs on the back. You understand? Give you some treats. You know what I mean? With treats with these holidays they giving us and all that. These trinkets they giving us to pacify us, but that's not really doing anything for us. You know what I mean? They'll let you eat at the bottom of the table for a little minute, give you some crumbs, and then y'all go about your way or whatever like that. They don't really care about us, man. They don't care about us. And what the Bible, it's a lot of precepts I want to bring out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of precepts I want to bring out. I'm gonna get this first one right here since we're on the topic. Then I'm gonna go to Genesis, going to hate the biblical hate that our oppressors have for us, right? I'm gonna get that after this. 1 second. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. All right. It says, never trust thine enemy. So the Bible, the Most High, God says to never trust thine enemy. Who's our enemies today? You know what I mean? You would be, foolish to not, know that these oppressors that's over us now are our enemies. In the Bible, in the book of Deuteronomy, 28th chapter, 68th verse, the Most High describes on how the Most High prophesies how, the nation of Israel will be put into slavery, put into bondage. We'll be going back to Egypt again. With the word Egypt, I'm gonna get it real quick. And I'm gonna come back. We'll be put into Egypt again. You know what I mean? In the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we're scholars in here, we're biblical scholars that, really study this book. You understand? And we'll break it down to you the way you never heard it broken down before because you never heard the truth in your life. This is what it says right here. Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, It's like with ships. The word Egypt means bondage. You understand? The word Egypt means bondage. And the Lord said he will put us back into bondage again. Talking about the nation of Israel. I'm gonna read on. It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. And where we've been sold to, where we've been, who we've been sold to, like our enemies, our oppressors, these devils that's over this country right now. You understand? The one that killed, that one that unalived, you understand, George Floyd, the one that unalived, you understand, Cohen Wiley. Them devils that was behind, it ain't official, it ain't out yet, but you could take a really good guess on who unalived Tanya Miller and Juliana Nazisha. You understand? Them devils right there, those are our enemies. You understand? This is in the Bible. Them and their people are our enemies. I'm gonna read on some more. I'm gonna read again from the middle. It says, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. The transatlantic slave trade happened. This is the transatlantic slave trade in the Bible, prophesied thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. You understand? It says, to our we were it says, be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. We were, which means slaves. You know what I mean? Slaves. We were slaves to them for 400 plus years. And I'm going to read on. It says, and no man shall buy you. This is what happened to us, man. This is the great tragedy that happened to us. This is the Holocaust that happened to us, that happened to the nation of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And this is the proof right here in the Bible. I'm going to go back to Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. You understand? It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You understand? And that's why the people in the Christian church, you understand, black, are people that's in the church are, wicked as hell, because they try to get us to love somebody that's always going to hate you. It says right here, as for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, meaning this. He could try, like that iron right there, you could try to, try to get all the rust and all that stuff off of it, but like it's going to rust back up eventually. That's the same thing that's the same way these oppressors have their wickedness. Their wickedness, they could try to smile in your face all day long. They could try to be your friend all day long, walking up and down the street. They could try to be your friend and smile in your face all day long at the job. They could do that, but in their hearts, you understand, they really do not love you or care about you at all. I'm gonna read some like comment right here. All right, there's. Oh, I just answered this question. There you go. He want to know why his people are enemies again. Well, I just read you. The Lord said your people are enemies. The Most High said your people are our enemies. You understand? And the proof is right there. We just went to Deuteronomy, where it said we'll be sold unto our enemies. We was sold to who? Your people, which makes your people our enemies. The Lord said, you guys are our enemy. You know what I mean? You got to take that up with the Lord. You know what I mean? Now, I'm gonna go to Genesis, right? Because you would think after all this time we've been here in America, and all these Christian sermons that's been going on, taking place every Sunday in every church, telling everybody to love everybody, to take care, to not hate anybody. You know what I mean? You would think this would change the hearts of your slave masters, right? You would think this would change the heart of them that have us in bondage, right? And have us in captivity. You would think this would change their hearts, but you see today that we still getting lynched. We still getting hunted down. You understand? You understand? Let me see real quick. One second. One second. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 25. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And this, I'm going to read on. And they called his name Esau. That's our oppressor's biblical name. That's his nation. That's the name of him, his nation in the Bible. You know what I mean? Esau. Understand? And it says, if I read on, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's ankle, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. You understand? They was in there and they was fighting in the womb. You understand? If you go up a little bit, I'm gonna go to verse 23. It talks about it. I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna read on. It says, oh no, I'm gonna go to verse 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Meaning this, like they said, they struggled in the womb. They was in there tussling. They was in there fighting. And it talks about in the verses ahead where Jacob had his hand on Esau's head. You understand? They was in there fighting. And now that's what it is today. You understand? I'm gonna read on some more. It says, and Isaac, in the middle of verse 26, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. You understand? You know what I mean? Brothers, like, we like to chill out, we like to chill. But Esau, he goes out hunting all the time. He loved to hunt bear all the time. Jeremiah was just bringing out yesterday on how, and General Hazayan was bringing out on how, you know, our oppressors, they go out hunting, right? And they spray on some fluid on them that smells like deer urine. You understand? So they could, you know what I mean? So the deer could smell one of them. And General Mayox brought it out, like he's seen some of them devils spray that fluid that smell like deer urine in their mouth. That's how they get down. And like that shows you the dedication they have to being a hunter. And that's what it says right here. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. I'm gonna read on. It says, verse 28, and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. I'm gonna skip down right here. I think that's it on that. But Esau was such a, you know, selfish pig, just like your president is, right? Your president is so damn selfish. You understand? He was talking about, he was up there in a faith meeting recently. They got him on video. He talking about, you know what I mean, how he had to bring himself up about how he wasn't mentioned in some sermon or something like that. You understand? Like everything revolves around him. You understand? Like he has the spirit of Esau because y'all are Esau. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got that same spirit, just like Esau, where he gave up his birthright. He gave up his birthright, you know what I mean, for what? Bloody meat. I'm gonna read it right here, verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. Well, I'm gonna read up 29. And Jacob sawed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Esau came from the field, he was faint, meaning like he was coming from the field. You don't know what the hell he was doing. He'd done something, you know what, how oppressors do. They go out hunting and all that, and you know, they do stuff they don't got no business doing. You seen that devil decades ago. I was a kid when it happened. Well, I think he probably passed before I was born, so I don't know. It was like decades ago. It was some devil who was like, basically, I think he was like the pioneer for devils on TV, on television, on Animal Planet, trying to go out into the fields and all that, into the, you know, savannah or wherever, you know what I mean, these into the wild basically, and observing the animals in the wild. He eventually got unalive because he tried to hold an electric eel. That's what happened to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's y'all nature. That's the nature of Esau, and that's how you slave masters. That's how y'all get down. You know what I'm saying? You was doing something you had no business out there in the field, and he was faint. All right, so I'm gonna read on for right there. It says, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. So Jacob was cooking. He was cooking, you know what I mean, some pottage, right? But the meat wasn't cooked all the way. It was raw. It was still raw. You know what I mean? Esau coming over here like, man, give me some of that. I'm about to fall. I'm about to die. I'm about to, you know what I mean, give up the ghost. I need some of that right there. What you got? Jacob, like, man, this ain't even cooked all the way. What you mean? Just give me a second, you know what I mean? And he like, man, this ain't even cooked thoroughly, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Esau did not give a damn. Let's see what Esau said after that. He said, for I am faint, therefore was his name called Edom. Verse 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. You know what I mean? And verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? He did not care about the birthright. He did not give a damn. What meant more to him was that his stomach was filled. You know what I'm saying? That the carnal pleasures in him. What mattered more to him was that his stomach was filled. That's what he cared about more. So he gave it up over some raw meats, over some raw, you know what I'm saying, flesh to eat. You understand that and that's what it meant to him. You understand? And this is how our slave masters are. They selfish like that. They could rule the whole entire planet. They got the richest country here in America. You understand? And they barely give the slaves a crumb. They still want to conquer more and more and more. Our slave masters here, they have everything they could, imagine. You know what I'm saying? But they still, gotta go ahead and eat children. You understand? They gotta eat children like they did like they was talking about in the Epstein files, where Donald Trump is in. They saying Donald Trump was in the Epstein files more than the word God is mentioned in the Bible. More than the word Jesus is mentioned in the Bible. You understand? Like, that's insane. That's insane. You know what I mean? And this whole thing right here, that's why the Most High said that children rule over them. You know what I mean? Rule over them. In the I'm paraphrasing, but he said that in the scriptures. Like, who rules over us right now is children. You know what I mean? They think they can go ahead and take over everybody's land and steal from everybody. You know what I mean? They behind Cuba being in the dark right now. They behind Cuba having no power right now. You understand? And nobody give a damn about that. They just, care about America being good. America thriving right now. They don't care about the Native American Indian brothers and sisters in the reservations starving to death. I seen a video just last week where somebody was recording in a reservation, and it's two sisters fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen when you in poverty like that. Because if you look around, look at the setting they're in, it looks like a slum. You know what I mean? They look like they in the slums over there. Got clothes and garbage everywhere because they took everything from the Native American Indians. They took everything from the Native American Indian brothers and sisters, man. They took everything from them, and now they just in utter poverty, just like the rest of us, man. Just like the rest of their brothers, the Negro and the Latino brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? That's suffering the same oppression because we are the same and we got the same common enemy that wants to see us fall and completely be in the grave. You understand? But thanks be to the Most High that it ain't gonna be that way. You understand? Let me see if somebody else said. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read this comment real quick. This last war and leaving on. Have no peace. I'm gonna read it real quick. Until we have this last war and leave no oppressor man standing, then and only then will have no peace. Have no peace. Yeah, I mean the Most High, you know, what I mean, is going to take care of these devils, man. Like what they did to us, like I was just naming how Tanya Miller and Juliana Nazisha, you understand? Just like how they got lynched recently in 2026. George Floyd got unalived, you understand, years ago, not too long ago, you understand. The baby brother Cohen Wiley got unalived. Breonna Taylor, you understand? Everybody forget Freddie Gray, you understand? Trayvon Martin, all them brothers and sisters over there, you know, them brothers and sisters that got unalived by these oppressors does not go unanswered. The Lord sees it. The Most High sees it, and you know what I mean. Contrary to, I ain't gonna get off topic, but like contrary to what the church likes to teach our people, the Most High doesn't love everybody. That's the good. That should be music in Black people's ears and Latino and Native American Indian brothers' ears. That should be music to our ears, hearing that the Most High does not love everybody, because you know what I mean. That would mean He has to love the people that hate us. That means He will have to love the people that hurt us and put us in bondage and put us in captivity to this day. That means He will have to love them same people that done His children harm, that done us harm. You know what I mean? But thanks be to the Most High, bro. I tell you how shy that's not the case. He only loves His people. Who are His people? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, because we are the biblical ethnic Israelites, biblical ethnic Jews. You understand? The Negro is the biblical ethnic Jew, and we all, you know what I mean, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians make up the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So, you know, when we take back our identity, man, the Lord is going, you know what I mean, wipe these nations out. What do you think the kingdom of heaven is? You know what I mean? What we think because of the church. Because of the church, we think we think heaven is, you know, somewhere above the clouds, and we in some space up there, you know what I mean, where everybody gets let in. Everybody gets let in because everybody love everybody, right? Everybody, you got to have heaven with your oppressor, with your slave master. He got to go to heaven too, because if you think about it, your slave master, he's a Christian too. He's a Christian. He's a Christian, and he's telling you to be a Christian. He's teaching you about a white Christian God, a oppressor Christian God. He has to go to heaven with you. You got to go to heaven with your slave master. Well, good. Thanks be to the Most High that's a lie. That's not in the Bible. What's in the Bible is this, though. I'm gonna read it real quick. I'm gonna get it real fast. Bear with me. Go to Romans 13:9. Oh, it's like 9 and 13, I believe. Yeah. Romans 9 and 13. It says this: as it is written, Jacob have I loved. And who's Jacob? Jacob is the progenitor of the nation of Israel, like we just read in book of Genesis, 25th chapter. He's the progenitor or the forefather of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right. Now I'm gonna read it again. It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And who is Esau? You know what I mean? He's, you know, our slave masters today. He's that one in the book of Genesis where we read about in the 25th chapter, where he's one of the babies that got split, where the Lord said he was gonna separate us. You understand? separate us. The Lord made a difference between us, you know what I mean? And he said 2 nations be in our womb, us and them, you know what I mean? And he said, but Esau have I hated. And why? And listen, I'm gonna read on. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. You understand? Like Christians would be like, nah, that's evil. That's wicked that God will hate Esau. You understand? But is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. You know what I mean? There is no unrighteousness with God, meaning if he hates them, is righteous. And guess what? I'm gonna take it a step further. Black people, Hispanic people, Native American Indian people, if you hate what God hates, that's righteous as well. Nobody could fault you for hating what God hates. He hates Esau. That means he hates the nation. He hates these slave masters. He hates these devils that's over us today. You know what I mean? He hates them all. He didn't say some of them. He didn't, you know what I mean? He said Esau, talking about the nation of Esau. You understand? Like, he hates them, and that's what the Bible says. That's out the Bible. You know, you ask your pastor, he's going to dodge that. He's going to run around that. He's going to try to make it seem like, you know what I mean, the sum it ain't. But if you just take a look and have common sense, you understand. The Most High say he loved Jacob and he hates Esau. You understand? That should be like wiping all the brainwashing of Christianity off your mind. You understand? When you hear these words, that should be wiping it all, you know what I mean? All that brainwashing out your spirit. Because we've been growing up, Black people, Hispanics, we've been growing up in the Christian church, Native American Indians, you understand? And brainwashed by them people in there that's supposed to be helping us and leading us, supposed to be taking care of us. They've been teaching us to love the very people that lynch us. You know, that lynch us and set us on fire. You understand? They've been doing that and all the way up to the present time, which is so imperative for us to wake up. Like the book of Romans, let me see if I can get it real quick. You know what I mean? The book of Romans 13:11, it says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Like right now is a very strong time to wake up. Like right now is it's the perfect time to wake up. And you know what I mean, smell the coffee, because like what you see now is these oppressors, these slave masters, they hunting us down. They hunting us down, like the book of Lamentations say, how they hunt our steps. You understand? They hunt our steps. They looking to, you know, just unalive somebody. You know what I mean? Which, and this side note, I remember in the Epstein files where it was said that they had like a hunting. It was something where they was, I forget what they called it. They had something in there where they had an event where they hunting Black people down. Where they talking about how the event went or how it is and all that stuff. Let me see if I can get it. If I don't get it today, I'll read it for y'all next week. But like, they had something in there where they hunt us down and stuff like that. But until I get it, you know what I'm saying? That's what the book of Lamentations say. It says they hunt our steps. They hunt our steps, and we going, you know, to do that, to fight against that, what we got to do. You know, because going back to the Delton Ovil, his question and all that, well, his statement. You know what I mean? What we got to do, because it seemed like, you know, we in the richest country. We in the most powerful country. You know what I'm saying? Or the most richest country, I say. I ain't going to say most powerful, but like, we're in the most richest country, and this country does have the Most High is more scarier than America. The Most High can, you know what I mean, is more dangerous than America could ever think about being. You know what I mean? Than this empire could ever dream about being. The Most High could wipe this nation out. He's going to wipe this nation out, like as it says in the Bible. You know what I mean? Like Egypt was the most, you know what I mean, prolific empire ever resurrected on this earth. You know what I mean? Prior to America. You know what I mean? It was so powerful, it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? Many the things that they had going on in ancient Egypt. All right. But like the Lord sent, you know what I mean, plagues to wipe them out. You know what I mean? He sent plagues, and he ain't really had to, like the Lord said, he said he ain't gonna meet you as a man. He ain't gonna meet our oppressor as a man. You know what I mean? He gonna send plagues to destroy this nation, to destroy them. And that's what he did to the ancient Egyptians, right? Another thing where he gonna do to America is global thermal nuclear war, meaning World War III is happening. It's going to happen. Is you know what I mean? We almost getting to the height of it. You understand? Is they still working it out? They still doing their thing, but World War III is going to happen. It's going to happen, and it's going to get crazy. And these different nations, all these heathen meaning who? The Africans, the Arabs, the Chinese, the Chinese, the Japanese. All these nations gonna be fighting each other, and in the midst of that, in the midst of the height of that, the Lord gonna come in and he gonna destroy them. You know what I'm saying? Global thermal nuclear war is gonna have this place burning. That's what the lake of fire is in the book of Revelations. You understand? This place is gonna burn up as it should. You know what I mean? That's the way to cleanse this place. The Lord got to cleanse this place, and He's gonna use fire. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. And the Lord said not to He said, "Vengeance is mine," saith the Lord. He gonna do that. He got that. You know what I'm saying? What we have to do right now, black man, our fight right now is to get off of, smoking weed. Get off of, selling drugs, selling paraphernalia, buying paraphernalia out of these new drug stores that the Arabs got, that the East Indians got. That's our fight, to not go into that lifestyle of being a drug addict, of using it. Some people like to say they smoke drugs, they do drugs, but they not drug addicts. You understand? Whatever you want to call yourself, we got to leave drugs alone. You understand? Completely. We got to stop. We got to fix our families. You understand? Stop being uh you know stop being sinners. You understand? We gotta, leave pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster alone. We can't eat those things. We can't eat that because the Lord said it. We gotta leave these holidays alone. These holidays that our oppressors gave us, we gotta leave that alone. We gotta leave these religions alone. You know what I'm saying? That do nothing for us, but but you in there serving idols. We gotta leave all that stuff alone, because that's not going to do nothing for you but destroy our people. We've been in Christianity since we got here, and what it do to us? It made us more loving slaves, more weak, spineless slaves for our slave master that's scared to even say anything about the injustice that takes place here. You know what I mean? Because we too scared to say something because we want to be loving our oppressors. You know what I mean? And that's what we learn from Christianity. So right now we have to just separate from this society. Like I'm gonna get another precept. I'm gonna get another precept. Go to Micah. Bear with me. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart. Talking to us, talking to the nation of Israel. This whole Bible, you know what I mean, is talking about us, talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, on how we should get out of, on how we can get, how we going to get out of slavery. The way shows us how to get out of slavery, because the Lord gave us this way out of slavery. He gave us enough grace and mercy to give us this Bible to show us how to get out of slavery. He also, it's like a history book on how we rose as a nation, how we fell, You know what I'm saying? All the captivities we've been under, how we got out of them captivities, and how we under the current captivity we in right now, and how we gonna get out of that one, and what's gonna happen to these slave masters and these other oppressors that's over us now. All right, and what's gonna happen to them after we get out of this captivity. But I digress. I'm gonna get back to the precept. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted." This place right here is polluted because it's polluted with all types of madness. You name it, like with everything, the religions and all that stuff, all the religions that's being um not resurrect, but elevated here in America. All the all the damn holidays being elevated here, pushed into our faces. You know what I'm saying? Have us all celebrating it. All which we shouldn't be doing. Let me get it. Let me get some more. For this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. This place gonna destroy us with a sword destruction, like it already has. Like right now, we don't have no nation. Black people don't have nothing to call our own right now. You understand? We don't have anything. You know what I mean? When these other nations, they got things that they can honor, they can hold, and they can observe and honor, that they can, you know what I mean, present to the world in honor. You know what I mean? They could, not that they present it, but they just have it there. And now we, like, for example, I bring this out all the time, Chinatown with the, from the Chinese, they got it in every major city in America. And now we, the consumers, we over there, you know what I mean, bringing our families there to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And when we don't have our own Negro land, we don't have none of that yet. So we don't have that. You know what I mean? But the only place on this earth where you're gonna see blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians come together in unity with no fighting, no beefing or anything like that is the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. That's the only place you're gonna find it. You ain't gonna find it nowhere else. They're gonna, you know what I mean, you try find somewhere else, you're not gonna find it. That's why we, you know what I mean, we implore brothers and sisters, meaning blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indian brothers and sisters, to come in this school, come in the Israelite school, universal practical knowledge, because this is the place, this is your home. This is your home. This is the home of the truth. And in here, you're gonna learn your identity. You're gonna learn who your enemies are. You're gonna learn how to, be brothers to one another, be sisterly to another sister. You're gonna learn how to do these things. You understand? Because just like I was taught when I came up in here from and learned and was learning from the brothers, from the generals and the captains and officers above me. You understand? You're gonna get this, brotherhood like no like you ain't never seen before. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we will offer to you. That's what we offer for our people. And sooner or later, the Lord is going to, deliver our brothers to us. You know what I'm saying? Because He's going to have us come together at one point. But before, like, how much do we have to see our brothers get unalive before we come together in a different way? Like, come together in a way that's less rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, than having to see our babies get unalived. You know what I'm saying? To put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many of us we have to see get unalive before we understand we're gonna have to stop doing what we doing and turn to the Lord? How long we gonna wait for that? Right now is the time, like Book of Romans 13:11 said. It said, I'm gonna have to go back to it. So like, bear with me. And that knowing the time, Romans 13:11, Salaki. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Right now is the time to wake up right now, to wake up out of sleep. You understand? Don't wait until it's too late. You know what I mean? Right now, it's time to wake up out of sleep. All right. Because we seeing how we getting, you know what I mean, lynched to this day. We still under like damn near like we under Jim Crow today. You understand? Not damn near, but it's like, you know, we under Jim Crow 2.0 today. You understand? We have to separate ourselves from this society, from this way, you know, this world. You know what I mean? This world, meaning society that we in. This world we in is a world where blacks, Hispanics are on the bottom and everybody hates us. You know what I mean? Everybody spits on us. Everybody just look at us like the garbage and the filth of the earth. When the Lord looks down on us and he sees his children suffering, the Lord is going to, you know, once we do this last thing, I'm going to read this last precept. I'm going to end it on this. You know what I mean? Once he sees us do this thing right here, and you know what I mean, you're going to see things turn. You're going to see things change. All right. So this book is Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desire. So the Lord said that we have to gather ourselves together because we're a nation. It says, O nation, yea, it's like it says, O nation, not desire. Because we are a nation that's despised by everybody. We're a nation that's hated by everybody. You understand? And that's what twists my face up a little bit about Christians and all that stuff, because black Christians or Latino Christians, because how you gonna say we gotta love everybody? Everybody hate us. Everybody hate us and, you know, want to see us do bad and terrible and fail. You understand? How are we gonna Salaki. My bad. Salaki. So it says, yeah, how are we gonna do that when we despised by everybody? We despised by the same people you telling us to love. You know what I mean? We have to gather ourselves together. Where you gather up together at? In the Christian church? No. Gather themselves together where in a Muslim mosque? No. You understand? Like we was talking about earlier. We've been gathering together in the Christian church for what, 400 plus years, right? Ain't nothing happened but us loving our slave masters more. You know what I'm saying? Obeying them, being good slaves. You know what I mean? That like that's all that happened. Being in the Muslim mosque, has that helped? Has that helped us at all? No. Turned us to, you know, to weirdos loving, you know what I mean, loving to bow down to a rock and all that stuff. You know what I mean? That's not helping us. Where do you gather yourself together at? I'll tell you. It's in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, in the I.S.U.P.K. If you're around, you know what I mean, in whatever state you at, wherever zone you in, just look up the I.S.U.P.K. in the state that you're in, and find the number for it for that school. Call that number. Get in these classes. You understand? Because time is running out. Time is running short. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have to get together. All right. So with that, I'm gonna end the class on that. So you know what I mean? Give me a Espanol real quick. If I could find it. Dang, I don't got it no more. Bear with me. 1 second. One second. Okay. Here we go. 1 second. All right. All right. Soy el oficial Matomia de la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal, una organización que comenzó en la calle 125, una oeste, en Harlem, Nueva York, bajo el mando del general YAHANNA. Enseñamos que los negros, los hispanos y los nativos americanos son familia y son el pueblo elegido de Dios según la Biblia. All right. Vamos. Now, Shalom, y'all, Bashim, y'all, Shabbat, y'all, Shamar, Bashim, y'all, Shai, Preaching Officer 1000 Mathumyat. You know what I'm saying? We here at the UN Library every Tuesday. You understand? From 6 to 7 o'clock. You know what I mean? Around that time anyway. And, you know what I mean? Y'all tune in for next time or come to class. Y'all want to come in person. Y'all hit us up. You already know. With that, I'm going to say Shalom.